Hello, and today we are going to work on a very special topic. And I don't want to give you the name of the topic as such, but let's just start working. So let's say I have this, yeah, and let's say I have something like this, and I have something like this. So what do you think we might realize from them? Well, if you're not able to get from it, so let's try some concrete. So I have this circle cut out, and if I just try to use this circle cut out and it seems to be just exact shape, so what do you think we can name it? Yeah, so we can name this as 1, and since it's one whole, so we can name it as 1 whole. So I'll write probably that this is my 1 whole. Right? And what if this one whole, it has been divided into some parts, right? So let's say I have a part like this, okay? So this has been divided into some parts. So what do you think this will be? And if I'll just try to analyze, the number of divisions are equal, that is, the division over here in yellow, it's same as the division on the right hand side. So I can say probably the yellow part, it is 1 out of 2, 1 out of 2. And how do we write this as number is 1 out of 2. So what are we talking about in this topic is that a whole can be divided into some sort of parts which we ultimately want to say fraction. So we are studying the topic fraction. Now let's try to say that we are again dividing this yellow into some kind of parts, right? We are dividing this yellow in some kind of parts. So how much part do you think this blue over here, this blue over here, or I'll just remove this for clarity. So how much part do you think this blue over here is part of this yellow? So probably we'll say, okay, this blue is again half of this yellow. Yeah, and the yellow was half. We'll say it's 1/2, right? And this blue further is half of 1/2. So what we'll say that this blue color is half of 1/2. Right, half of 1/2. So let's try to just remove it over here, and we'll just try to see that what is half of 1/2. So half we know is 1 out of 2, and it gets multiplied to another 1 out of 2. We multiply the numerators. 1 into 1 is 1, and 2 into 2 is 4. This also gets multiplied, so it's 1 out of 4. Now let's try to see, and I'll just use some water over here to stick this over here. So when I try to just stick it over here like this, yeah, this is my 1/2. And if you're wondering why the paper is sticking due to use of water, is because water has something called adhesive property, binding property. So the light materials can be just stuck to the screen by using water. Now over here, I'll just try to stick this part as well. So I'll just try to put it over here, and let's say we again understand that this is 1/4. Now I was just wondering that now if I again divide 1 out of 4, so what part would that be? Let's say this part I have, and I want to check that I have few more parts like these. So I'll just stick it around like these, yeah, over here. And one I'll take again, I have some more parts. So when I have a few more parts, I'll just try to see that what kind of connection they have all together. We'll stick them over here, yeah, and we have one more part I think, and that as well. I'll just stick over here with another one over here. So let's try to work with these, and I'll just try to rub and make some space and see what possibilities do we have. Now, once we are done to making some space, let's try to see the first possibility which I see over here, and that possibility is that this part, what part is this out of this blue part, let's say. So when I try to stick it over the blue part and it just fell down, probably I want to try again and stick it. So I have this blue part over here. I'll stick it over here, and I'll just try to take another yellow part, green part, and I'll stick it over the blue part. Now what part do you think is this green part of this blue part? And to me it seems, let's say the green part is half of the blue part. Now what was this blue part, let's say? So as per our earlier calculation, we have just seen that the blue part is 1 out of 4. So I'll write the blue part of one whole is equal to 1 by 4. Yeah, this is the blue part of one whole which we were talking earlier, like this, of this one whole. Yeah, the blue part of this one whole is 1 out of 4. Now I want to see how much is the green part. So what I say, okay, this green part over here, the green part of one whole would be how much? And it seems the green part is actually half of the blue. So like it's equal to half of blue part. Yeah, half of blue part. Now when I say half, so I'll write it's equal to 1 by 2, and off, and the blue part is how much? Yes, the blue part with me is 1 out of 4. So I'll say it's half of 1 out of 4. And what does this off indicates in mathematics? That we'll multiply them, and two fractions over here and over here are getting multiplied. So I'll write this 1 by 2 multiplied by 1 out of 4, 1 out of 4 over here. The numerators will get multiplied. So 1 into 1 is 1, and the denominator over here gets multiplied. So 2 into 4 is 8. So we get 1 out of 8. So this green part is essentially 1 out of 8. Now I just was wondering that how much if we compare 1/8 and 1/4. So how many 1/8s can be used to make 1/4? So let's try to work on this, that how many 1/8s do we need to make 1/4 of a whole. So we'll try to just rub the screen and work on this through some concrete method. And you can also in the meanwhile get some paper and try to fold and see. Okay, so we'll just try to make some space over here and see that how many 1/8s. So this is 1/8 I see over here. This is 1/8. Let's try to put some water so I can stick over here. So I'll put some water and I'll stick it as 1 over here. Yeah, 1/8, and I have another 1/8 over here, and I'll put some water over here and I'll stick this way. Probably I want to turn it this way, right? I'll turn it this way. So we are going to put it this way, and let's try to see if we have another 1/4 over here, which is this. So I'll just try to see if both of them overlap, that is they come one over the another or not. Overlap means essentially that if I have this one hand and I have another hand and both of them are coming with one another with all the corners, so this is called overlapping. So I want to see if they are overlapping with my 1/4 cutout, and the 1/4 cutout which I have over here is this paper, which I'll just try to put it like this, and I'll see if both of them are getting overlapped. Okay, they are getting overlapped. Now what if I remove them and try to superimpose over my this part? So I'll see, okay, they are getting superimposed. So yes, my 2 8s are getting superimposed, and they are making 2 8s are making 1/4. So as per this my concrete experience, what I'll say that this 1/8 over here, again I'll put some water over here, this 1/8 over here and this 1/8 over here, what I'll say that both 1/8s and the combination, that is 1/8 over here and another 1/8, when we combine both of them, so what we can say that both of them give us a new value, and the new value is, as we said, it's equal to this, which is nothing but 1/4. Now this method of explaining was more concrete, that we tried it towards our using our hands, so we did a bit of hands work, yeah, but we also need to understand if we can actually calculate it. So to calculate it, what we can see that the denominators are same, and we know when the denominators are same, we say they are like fractions. They are like fractions. Now when they are like fractions, so we can put them as 1, so it's equal to 8 as common, since it is like fraction, so we keep this as common, and we add the top two, so we get 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 by 8. And what is 2 by 8? If I want to divide, so it's equal to 2 divided by 2, and we get 8 divided by 2. Why we are dividing by 2? Because we have 2 as common in both of them. So this is 2 1s are 2 and 2 4s are 8. So we get, by abstract or written calculation as well, we get 1/4, which is same as what we got above. So either ways we can relate that yes, we are working on the right track. Now we want to understand in fraction that there are some other subtopics, and there are very important topics called proper fraction and improper fraction. Now as we can see that we have one whole over here, and then how can we use this one whole to understand proper and improper? So we have this very short story over here. I'll rub this. I hope you have written. I'll rub this. And now what I'll do over here is that I'll just make some space and try to understand that what are proper fractions or improper fraction. So let's say what I'll do is I'll make a story, and the story goes this way, that I have my birthday, and for my birthday, this is the cake, right? This is the cake. But the condition is that I'm not supposed to eat this cake till, let's say, 7 p.m. Yeah, and my parents, they go out for some work, for some shopping, and this cake is there with me, let's say, in the afternoon. Yeah, in the afternoon my parents leave this cake with me, and this is there with me. Now what happens when I'm alone in my home and I'm very hungry? Now what I get a little bit of greedy. Greedy means I want to eat it, that I just can't tolerate it, I want to eat it. So something which happens to me, the first mind which strikes my mind is that no, I can't eat it. Why? Because there is a deadline, 7 p.m. people will come, I will cut the cake, and we'll share. But whose birthday is it? Mine. So who has the first chance of eating? Me, obviously. So my greed gives something called logic, and yes, I'm a very logical man, so I want to eat my cake. So let's say I try to have even a little bit of cake. Cool, I have a little bit of cake. So this example is this, I have just a little bit of cake. So what happens? I eat the cake and the cake remains a little bit like this. Cool. But you know, so I was thinking, okay, still I have plenty of part to share. Yeah, I have plenty of part to share. But then what happens is that it is already 6 p.m. and nobody is there in my door. So my logical mind and my greedy mind, very dangerous combination. So I think, okay, the cake is for whom? For me. So can I have more? Yes, I can. So I eat this part. So I get to eat all this. Yeah. Now this half is remaining. But it's already now 6:30 p.m. and nobody is there at my door. So what I do? The same story. Greed takes over. Logical mind. And I think, can I eat? Yes, it's my birthday. So I eat more. Cool. But I still have something to share. Yeah. And then it's 7 p.m. and guess what? My parents are late and they just call me that, boy, you have to wait till, let's say, 9 p.m. So do you think I will wait till 9 p.m.? No, because this thing has taken over what is called greed and some logic. So I eat all of them. Yeah, I eat all of them. And guess what? Now when I eat all of the cake, how much have I eaten? So let's go back to my original chart. So I've eaten virtually one whole, exactly. I ate the one whole cake. Cool. And now what happens is I'm still hungry. Even after eating the whole cake, guess what? I'm still hungry. I'm not thinking what to do. I'm still hungry. And yes, I know my mom and she also knows me. So she knows that this guy will not leave the cake. So I want to check. So I go, I open my fridge, I open the door and I see, oh my God, there's another cake below. So I take it out. I take another. So I take another cake. And now half of the stomach is full. So yes, I'm not that greedy now. Not that greedy. But I do understand the fact that whose birthday is it? Obviously mine. So who gets the first chance? And yes, I remember I want to share. Yeah, I like sharing with people. Yeah, I like sharing. But who can I take a tiny little bit? Let's say I have this tiny part. Then I will share with everybody. No problem. Cool. Okay, let's try it. So what if I eat one whole and now I'm taking some more part, and as per this figure, let's say I ate 1/8 more. So what will be 1 plus something? Will it be greater than 1 or will it be less than 1? I'll give you 30 seconds to think. This one whole plus 1/8, will it be more than 1 or will it be less than 1? And probably you want to check it this way, that this is one whole, yeah, and 1/8 if I have over here. Yes, I do have over here. So one whole plus 1/8, will it be more than 1? I guess yes, because 1 is here and this is more than 1, so it is more than 1. Now let's get to some more story. That was it right on my part to eat this? Was it proper? Oh, now my mind says yes, it was not proper. But it was proper till some point, yeah? Till what point? Let's say my mom knew this guy is very, hungry. She knew I'm very greedy. So probably till I would have not touched the second cake, probably that's fine. Yes? Thank you. So the proper thing for fraction would be, that yes, you can have fractions. Yeah, yes, you can have fractions, but in fractions, your value of fraction which you're taking, whatever part you're doing, till its final value is less than 1, we call that this fraction is proper. This fraction is proper fraction. Thank you. This fraction is proper fraction. But what if I exceed my limitations and I eat more of this? So my fraction value is that I'm eating all of this plus I'm eating some part of another whole. So this whole will make my value more than 1. So whenever my fraction goes in a way that my final value is exceeding 1, then that goes as improper fraction. Probably I want to write in different color, so this goes as improper fraction. So just coming back, that if probably I would have left the other cake, I would not have eaten more than 1. It would have been proper, and it just said that when I go to a restaurant, better focus on your plate. Don't focus on somebody else's plate. So this plate was not meant for me. This was for my friends, and if I ate out of this without their permission, obviously it's improper. Yeah. So lesser than 1. What can be examples of less than 1 fraction? Let's say. So I have some examples in my mind. Let's say I have over here this is, we know, 1 by 2. So this 1 by 2 over here, this 1 is inside and 2 is over here. So the value comes at 0.05, 0.50 comes over here. So we get the answer is 0.5. So yeah, so and 0.5, we know that 0.5 is a value which is lesser than 1. So this can be one example of fraction which is proper, and one example of another fraction which I think is improper would be probably, let's say I'm taking a fraction which is like 5 by 3, yeah, and I'll take 5 inside and I'll take 3 outside. So 3 ones are 3, I get 2 over here, I get point, and yes, 3 6 are 18, and this keep going on. So 1.6 we know is greater than 1, so obviously this fraction is improper. Technically, sometimes we say that if above numerator is lesser than denominator, that's proper, that's technically, just remember. And if above numerator is greater than denominator, it's improper. But the whole story is, as we discussed, that less than 1 proper, greater than 1 improper. Alright, have a nice day. Thank you.